Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Coffee and Lore. I'm super excited to be here with you guys today. It's Friday. Happy Friday. I am so thrilled that it's almost the weekend. I am actually going to Florida this weekend to pick up my daughter. Not doing anything crazy, so don't send me hate mail or spam mail about how I'm traveling during the coronavirus. But we're just going to stay in my mom's house. We're going to hunker down there, and I've got to pick up my daughter. So she's coming home, and I'm super excited. She's been on vacation. So, what are we talking about today? Well, today we are talking about Nora Robert's Stanislaski siblings series. I love this series. The Stanislaski brothers, Mikhail and Alex, were the first Nora Roberts that I ever read. Back when I was like probably 15, 16 years old. And it really got me hooked to her writing. So, I'm not going to talk about the brothers first because there's a book that comes first. I read them out of order when I first read them. But we're going to talk about them in order. And the first book is Taming Natasha. Natasha's the oldest sibling. She is a girl, obviously, and she owns a toy store. And she meets Spencer Kimball and his daughter, Freddie. She's super not wanting to get involved with Spencer and his daughter just because she's worried about getting hurt. She's also worried about hurting the little girl. You know, whenever you get in a relationship with somebody who has children, you have to be very wary of that. So, Taming Natasha is all about Spencer and Natasha's love story, and Freddie comes back later in this series for a specific reason that I'll tell you about. And next up is Luring a Lady, and that is Mikhail Stanislaski's book, and I love Mikhail Stanislaski. Okay, so he meets Sydney Hayward, who is basically taking over the apartment complex that he lives in. It was her father, her grandfather's, and she's taking it over as management. And Mikhail lives in this apartment complex, and there's a lot of problems with this apartment. Okay, he is an artist, like a sculptor, but he is very handy as a carpenter. And so they make a deal for him to do some of the carpentry work and fix some of the things around the apartment complex for, I believe he gets to stay there rent-free or for pay. I forget what it is. But they fall in love, obviously, and it's a really beautiful story, and I love Mikhail. He is my favorite Stanislaski sibling. He's a little tough around the edges, but I really do love him. And next up we have, so next is Alex's book, I believe, and I believe it's called Convincing Alex. I'm just checking my notes. Yeah, Convincing Alex. Alex is a cop, and he is a pretty cool street cop. You know, he's still on the streets. He's not like a detective or anything. And he meets Bess, who is like an actress, I believe. And she pretends to be a prostitute in order to kind of fall into this role that she's wanting to play or write about, I believe. And because of that, she meets Alex because he arrests her. And they fall in love. And I love Alex, but honestly, Alex and Bess just belong together. They're super snarky together. They're jokers. It's a really funny book. They have a really funny relationship. And then, of course, we have Falling for Rachel. Rachel is a lawyer or like a public defender, and she meets Zach Muldoon, who owns a bar because of his little stepbrother, Nick. And Nick is in a lot of trouble a lot of times. He's just a bad kid. He's just kind of come to live with Zach. And he had a rough upbringing and things like that. So Rachel gets involved in Nick's case, and she falls for Zach. But Nick isn't completely out of the wind just yet. Freddie, Spencer's daughter, comes back later on and falls in love with Nick. Well, she's always kind of in love with Nick as a child, growing up into a tween. She views Nick as just this gorgeous man who's kind of a badass, you know, she loves Nick. And so she finally convinces Nick in the last book that I read, Waiting for Nick, to be with her. And I love it because the last book, Waiting for Nick, wraps everything up. Throughout all of the books, you're constantly keeping in touch with the mom and the dad and all the siblings. You're getting updates. They go to the mom's house for holidays, and you get an update on what each couple is doing. So it's a series that really doesn't ditch the characters. I hate those series that do that. That just completely forgets about a couple or a character and you never hear about them again, even though you should, because it's literally like his brother. So it does well with keeping all the characters in all of the books, and I love it. It's a great Nora Roberts read. If you're a Nora Roberts fan, highly recommend it. On that note, I am super excited to go get some beach time if I can get it this weekend. What are you guys reading?